Tac, effectué. Voilà. Et vous là-bas, sortir, vous n'avez pas le droit. Je vais essayer de télécharger pas World of Tanks mais World of Tanks Blitz sur PC parce que ça va être mieux sur PC. Enfin, parce que je serai sur clavier souris, mais sinon je suis plus chaud aux manettes que clavier souris. Hein. Et regardez ce que j'ai les gars, putain, les gars, je suis très contente de voir. En vrai, c'est vraiment parce que c'est pas un tryhard d'amour. Mais mon frère il est pas timide, hein. La Liloula. La Liloula. Ok, bah nickel, hein. La Liloula. Ok, bah nickel, hein. Baribo, baribo. La Liloula. Baribo, 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 baribo. Ok, bah nickel, hein. Baribo, baribo. La Liloula. Baribo, baribo, baribo. Ok, bah nickel, hein. Baribo, baribo. La Liloula. Baribo, baribo. Est-ce que vous avez déjà vu? Non, c'est vrai les gars. Du coup, je vais vous montrer pourquoi le T32 est un de mes chars préférés. Bienvenue à toi, celui qui est sur le live. N'hésite pas. Bah, d'ailleurs, mets un message dans le chat si tout va bien, tu m'entends bien et tout. Du coup, est-ce que tu m'entends bien? Mets un message dans le chat. Mets un message dans le chat. Tout va bien, tu m'entends bien et tout. Du coup, est-ce que tu m'entends bien? Mets un message dans le chat. Mets un message dans le chat. Tout va bien, tu m'entends bien et tout. Je vais baisser le son parce que sinon on m'entend en double et tout. Mets un message dans le chat. Ah bah non. Non, c'est parce que j'étais sur mon propre live. Je suis con. Et yo les gens. Et yo les gens, aujourd'hui. Pour vous montrer la puissance du boss.
Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are. Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it'll be lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushcraft on Blitz. Welcome back to channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome aboard. I salute you for your diligence and your tanking, well, I don't know, your voracious tanking video appetite. For those of you who have been here for a while, aren't you little troopers? And I salute you for your tenacity in hanging on when all signs point to things never getting better with me. This is the T32. I'm giving this tank a video for a reason. I recently did the T110E5 tech tree stream. Actually, it was Monday this week, but when you're watching this, it might be in the future. So future me, be nice to your mum. And it didn't do very well. It's not that it didn't do very well. In fact, I ran up against a lot of very, very good red teams. You notice there, guys, I'm not saying my team sucked. I'm saying that red teams were very, very good. They were. They clubbed us remorselessly. And I wanted to do a video on this tank because I think it is tremendously undersold. It's a rip snorter of a tank. I've always liked it. I've always enjoyed it. It's got big drawbacks, but those drawbacks can certainly be minimised. And the positives are ferocious. The tank is a whole lot tougher than people give it credit for. The tank is, in fact, not a lot like the T29 or the M6 or the T1 Heavy that come before it. And you can see I'm just angling up there. I'm not turning the whole way around because if he wants to use HE on my ass, I'm giving him that opportunity so he can feel like he's a chance. But then I'm also putting the tracks in there so that it'll just eat the module damage. The T29, for instance, has a chassis that's like 145 millimeters. Let's check that out because this is off the top of my head. I'm going to be impressed. The T29. If you're looking at the T29 frontally, just straight on, 149 millimeters. I was very, very close. Same with the T34. The T32, though, the T32 has 193 millimeters of frontal armor when you're just staring straight at an opponent. And you're going to see various instances where that frontal armor, much like that RU251 and that T54 lightweight came a cropper with, just gets good bounces. And the reason I find this to be pretty interesting and to be a bit of a misnomer amongst us, the humans, is that people tend to think of the IS-3, the IS-3 Defender, the IS-6, the IS-5, the IS-1 whatever as the big bouncers of tier 8 in terms of heavy tanks. And to a certain degree they are, I guess. Like the Defender has a 230mm armor profile on the pike nose in 2 squares either side of the pike. But for the rest, I guess, like whatever as the big bounce, and to be a U251 and that T54 lightweight came a cropper with, just gets good bounces. And the reason I find this to be pretty interesting and to be a bit of a misnomer amongst us, the humans, is that people tend to think of the IS-3, the IS-3 Defender, the IS-6, the IS-5, the IS whatever as the big bouncers of tier 8 in terms of heavy tanks. And to a certain degree they are, I guess. Like the Defender has a 230mm armor profile on the pike nose in 2 squares either side of the pike. But for the rest of it, it's about 193mm, exactly the same as the front of the T32. Where this becomes really interesting is that the T32 has 10 degrees of gun depression. So you can get that 193mm and you can get it on a incline or a slope and still shoot down into the enemy because your turret is just obnoxiously strong, and you will then upscale that armor profile to something voracious in the vicinity of, you know, still while you can get shots in, like you're going to take that armor profile up to the 260s, 246 mark. And then if you get it on the flat and you angle it up, well, you're 255 all the time. Like you're going to get hit in the side if you do it wrong. But my point is, the armor on this thing is legitimately one of the best at its tier. It is some of the best armor at its tier. And people just don't give it credit for that. But next time you're in game and you see a T32, have a look at the armor profile at the front and see what I'm talking about. This is particularly efficient versus the 54 Mod 1, the T54 lightweight, the T44, the Type 59, the T34 and 2, even, you know, your samurai tanks, you're looking at tanks that have 100mm guns, your medium tanks, and they're running around with 175 to 180mm of penetration. You have more than that on your upper profile before you even angle just a smidgen. So you're a nightmare to deal with for some of these medium tanks that you're going to see and that you're going to run into. You're an absolute nightmare. They don't want to have to know about it. You are far too tough. You're in the too hard basket. They don't want to have to deal with you. And that's great because it allows you to go hull down and hold lines against big ass heavy tanks like IS-5s, IS-3 Defenders, all that kind of thing, IS-6s. And then it allows you to intimidate the hell out of mediums and lights. Now, that is obviously an interesting fact. And you can see how far forward that Defender has to come to get that shot. That's because he can't penetrate the turret. There is no way knowing he's going to penetrate the turret. And even with these, that's also him being above us. That's what having gun depression does. Like if you can get above someone, do you see how much harder that frontal armor is to pen when the angle is increased? But I digress.
Bien, je lis ici que ton dernier emploi était attaquant dans le raid contre le donjon de l'araignée, exact?
Oui, tout à fait. J'ai bâti ma réputation en tant que champion d'attaque.
Quelle est selon toi ta meilleure compétence?
Je pense que c'est mon blizzard arcanique.
Ça me semble génial. Puis-je le voir? Très impressionnant.
Plus de 300 champions. What you really want to be doing with this tank is looking for those situations where you can intimidate. Now let's talk about the pen, because the pen is pretty god-awful. And not only is it bad pen, but it's bad pen coupled with, not particularly fantastic gun handling, which is where a lot of people think the T32 falls down. It does, okay? I'm not for a second saying that the gun is good. The 105mm T54, T50, T5E1. Stop trying to say a tank's name. The 105mm T62A gun. I'm an idiot. .371 dispersion is your top dispersion. So it's slightly better than some of the big bulky Russian heavies, but not a whole hell of a lot better. And your aim time is 3.8 seconds when absolutely fully done, which is not, again, very, very good. So the gun handling is where it gets let down. And well, it should, because if it didn't have, and I'm just going to break through here while they chase this bloke all over the map until they find him, because you don't want to watch 2 minutes of me just driving a T-32 around doing nothing. If it had really good pen, like a BL9 or something like that, if it had 220 millimeters of pen, or like a done, which is not, again, very, very good. So the gun handling is where it gets let down. And well, it should, because if it didn't have, and I'm just going to break through here while they chase this bloke all over the map until they find him, because you don't want to watch 2 minutes of me just driving a T-32 around doing nothing. If it had really good pen,
6389.
currently getting blitz. I know. He's reversing with 3 points. The pros, there's got to be cons. I've been shoving it into positions where I can use the gun depression every single time. And it's worked out very, very well for the T-32. And I'm going to do that in this game, and I'm going to do that in the next game. And you see, I've been working that gun depression area there. That Jag Panther 2 wasting one of the best guns in the game, sitting all the way at the back there, doing absolutely nothing with his tremendous mobility. But this is more the gun handling we were expecting. Like, seriously? That Borsig, I think, actually blew himself up with a high explosive shell. Pretty funny. Again, we're going to use that gun depression. Watch this, 10 degrees of gun depression and a turret that just won't quit. All we got to do, and he's got a much larger hatch than I do. Here's more of that gun handling on display. And this is the drawback of the tank. I mean, we could hit it from across the other side of the map, no problems. We're going to get it again now. 10 degrees of gun depression with a hatch that's absolutely tiny. I just wait for him to drive into it. Can't help but hit it there. And he's got no options. He really doesn't have any options. Some people I've heard have used the 90mm gun with the 10 rounds, but I really don't find that to be any good at all. And it's only got 170mm of pen. That Jag Panther is all the way at the back. We're going to hit the adrenaline and we're going to pump one into his side. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. 2 kills. Did you see the 2 firing positions we took there? One was hull down and the other was hull down. And there's a reason why we're doing successful T-32 things. It's because we're going hull down. The thing I like about it, though, is in the opportunities to be COD'd and everything like that RU-251 and that T-54 lightweight, you can see how tough the tank is, how hard it is to pen frontally or even angled. And if you're trying to fire heat at it and you're just angling and jiggling the tracks, well, life is not going to be as simple as you'd like it to be. And I love that about this tank. I mean, so many people have told me this is a bad tank. I can't tell you how many people have told me this is a bad tank. But here's the catch. I hate driving IS-3 Defenders. I hate driving IS-5s. Like, it's an anathema to me. I cannot deal with them. The gun handling and the just roll on in and knock them out style is really annoying. I mean, I drove an IS-3 Defender in ratings and got to like 4100 pretty quick because it's a stupidly strong tank against a whole lot of other tanks. But at the same time, there are tanks that give it loads of trouble, that give it fits and giggles. And if you can get one of these hull down, this is one of them. It really is. You're going to see this position here was built for the T-32. Honest to God. Tier 8 game. This guy's going to drop, but I'm expecting him to pop here, so I just fire anyway. And he pops again. 1 hit point. What a roll. The turret's expecting him to pop here, so I just fire anyway. You just see the 2 firing positions we took there. One was hull down, and the other was hull down. And there's a reason why we're doing successful T-32 things. It's because we're going hull down.
Voilà quoi, vous avez vu la puissance qu'il a en compte. On est trop bien, c'est oui. On va dire que nous, on est peut-être dehors au soir. Et moi, il pleut et tout, les gars. vous jure, chez moi, il fait vraiment pas beau. Je vous le jure. La porte, Cassandra, enfin la mienne. Claquée, hein. Elle est pas claquée. Tire dessus, voilà. Tu claques sans... Appuie dessus. Appuie dessus. Alors, elle est fermée. Tu la claques, tu touches pas la poignée. Tu la claques juste hyper fort. Appuie dessus. Je te dis de la claquer. Voilà. What? Attendez les gars.